This week in the Episcopal Church, we took a day in our calendar of the saints to remember on Monday all faithful departed, and this festival fell on the same day as All Souls Day, and it's the last part of a 3-stage celebration that we have at the end of October into November. It's a Triduum, as we refer to. We have 2 Triduums in the each and every calendar year in the church. The first is around Easter. So we have Good Friday, Easter Saturday, and then Easter Sunday. It's a Triduum, a 3-part celebration, death to resurrection. And we find almost exactly 6 months later, depending on when Easter falls and what the moon gives us, we have this Triduum just before we enter into the darker months of the winter. It begins with All Hallows Eve, now called Halloween, All Hallows Eve. Hallows meaning saints in the older meaning of the word, so All Saints Eve, the eve before All Saints. Then we have All Saints Day, which was Sunday, November the 1 this year. And then we have All Souls on November 2nd. So again, a 3-part festival and celebration when we remember the saints and we remember all souls and all those people that we love and hold dear who have moved on to the greater light of Jesus Christ. It's a wonderful celebration, and it arrived or evolved or developed, we think, around the 10th century of church life, and it was seen as an extension of All Saints. There had been a little confusion at times. In the earliest days of the church, the word saints had always referred to folks with some sort of particular heroic sanctity, figures and faithful Christians whose lives that they led and the deaths that they suffered, sometimes in persecution and otherwise, were held up as great examples of the Christian faith and how to live a honorable and virtuous Christian life. And also in the New Testament, when we use the word saints, that actually refers to everyone. So the tradition of the early church was saints were these people of heroic sanctity, and yet in the New Testament, when we use the word saints, it refers to everyone. So around the 10th century, the church said, right, we'll extend this. So we'll have the All Hallows Eve, we'll have the All Saints, and then we'll have this celebration called All Souls. Now, at around the time of the Reformation, there was a decision that All Souls Day should not be celebrated. I think there were concerns that it got a little bit too close to the Roman celebrations and the masses for the dead. So it was thrown out. And personally, I think that was a mistake. And I don't see why we can't have a day in our church calendar when we can absolutely remember and give thanks for the lives and the continued lives of all those who have passed on to the greater light and those that we loved very much. And now, in the Anglican Communion and in the Episcopal Church, therefore, the celebration of All Souls, which celebrates all faithful departed, is now an optional observance. It's certainly one that I think we should always observe. It's a wonderful celebration to share with your family if you're able. Let me tell you a little bit about our celebration of All Souls this week. My middle child, Millie, has a Mexican godfather. So we decided as a family and with him that we would have a All Souls celebration that would also celebrate the Mexican traditional holiday and festival of Day of the Dead. And Virgilio came over, and there was some discussion about how the Day of the Dead had come around, whether or not it was a pre-Columbian celebration, that the Roman Church, once it colonized Mexico, brought this together to make the church more appealing by appealing to these old traditional festivals. And that very well may have been the case. But what we do see, and what we actually had on Monday evening around this family table, was a syncretic celebration between All Souls and Day of the Dead. And I think it's not a coincidence that both those days fell on the same day. And it was a wonderful celebration. We had 6 candles, and each of us, before We began our supper of thanks, lit a candle, and remembered someone in our family who we loved. And one of the children prayed for their pets that they have been very close to, George the cat and Marmite the dog. And it was really quite touching. So a syncretic, joyful, unifying celebration. And it was wonderful. And it just, perhaps got me thinking that in these days of continued anticipation of what may be next politically, with, as we know, the deep divide that currently exists, the move towards a more syncretic attitude towards each other, despite our differing opinions and thoughts and attitudes to the way that life should be led, is a very positive thing. To see past our differences and find some unity and common purpose. And I think many people feel that that's exactly where we should be headed. And this celebration of All Souls Day not only allows us to remember those that we love and hold them up into the light, and remember their move into the comfort of eternal joy, but also to find friends with differing traditions, but pretty much barking up the same tree like we did on Monday with the Day of the Dead, and find common purpose and common celebration, and enjoy a meal and enjoy fellowship and camaraderie, and the acknowledgement that we all have the spark of the divine with us. So let's hope going forward over the coming days that we are, as a people, able to find some syncretic union and common purpose, and put our divisions aside and find out maybe that we are all, in fact, barking up the same tree. Amen.